22nd, 2021, and we want to get you caught up on the biggest stories of the day so far.
CBS 46 Investigates is taking a closer look at guns at airports. After an accidental discharge over the weekend at Hartsfield-Jackson International, Crystal Bowie kicks off our Monday evening news rewind. But first at 6, chaos at the world's busiest airport. Passengers running for cover after a gun goes off inside Hartsfield-Jackson. Police still looking for the man who accidentally set the weapon off. And as the search continues, the CBS 46 investigation is beginning to uncover the truth about airport gun issues.
According to the TSA, more guns have been found at Hartsfield-Jackson this year than any other airport. CBS 46 investigative reporter Crystal Bowie live tonight digging into the problem. Crystal, good evening.
Good evening, Rick and Sean. Now over here, every time 1 million passengers walk through the doors, about 11 guns are found. Those numbers hitting a 20-year record high. No weapons beyond this point signage now greet travelers at the security checkpoints. A reminder after passengers ran for cover Saturday at Hartsfield-Jackson, thinking there was an active shooter. But a loaded gun was accidentally discharged instead. There's now a warrant for the arrest of 42-year-old Kenny Wells, who police say lunged into his carry-on bag during screening, grabbed the firearm, and then it went off.
We heard gunshots and got down, and then we ran out.
Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson is not only the busiest airport in the country, but it also holds the record for detecting the most firearms. The Transportation Security Administration says it's confiscated more than 450 firearms at ATL so far this year. It's the highest number for any airport in the country.
It's terrifying, and we have this guns everywhere mentality. So
Moms Demand Action say the relaxed gun laws in Georgia contribute to those high numbers.
And so I'm not really surprised that we're seeing guns in more and more places that they simply don't belong.
In Georgia, it is legal for licensed gun owners to have a gun in any airport unrestricted area, such as parking areas, ticketing, and baggage claim.
The Safe Carry Protection Act actually created a new crime of carrying a gun at a commercial service airport for somebody who was there committing a felony.
John Moore is an attorney for the gun rights group GeorgiaCarry.org, supporting the 2014 Safe Carry Protection Act.
Now, if you had a license, you were already able to do it. If you didn't have a license, this actually increased the penalties for doing it.
TSA says roughly 80% of the near 4,500 guns uncovered by agents around the country this year were loaded. And TSA also told me this really underscores the fact that you need to check your luggage and make sure there are no dangerous items inside. That's even before you head to the airport. Reporting live, Crystal Bowie, CBS 46 News.
Closing arguments will stretch into a second day in the trial for 3 men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery. The jury also expected to begin deliberations tomorrow, meaning we could soon have a verdict. CBS 46's Haley Mason live in Brunswick after listening to today's tense arguments. Haley, good evening.
Tense is a good way to describe it, Sean. Ahmaud Arbery's parents multiple times having to leave the courtroom out of frustration, some would say, definitely emotion and upset pretty much after hearing each defense attorney say that Ahmaud Arbery could have been a burglar, was reasonably suspected and reasonably chased. Well, the state, though, saying that none of those reasons justified the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Lead prosecutor Linda Donikoski is closing for the state, trying to chip away at the self-defense claims of the defendants.
If you provoke somebody so that they defend themselves against you, and then you go, oh, look, he attacked me first, but you really were the one who was provoking the attack on yourself. You don't get a claim self-defense, and that's the law.
Donikoski telling the jury the defendants were not executing a citizen's arrest and don't have legal grounds to claim self-defense.
Imagine if armed robbers could come in and go, well, I had to defend myself against the victim of my crime. Could you imagine if that was the law?
Defense attorney Jason Sheffield next closing for Travis McMichael, leaning heavily on his former job training with the U.S. Coast Guard.
Travis McMichael spent almost a decade of his life learning about duty and responsibility.
Attorney Kevin Goff says his client, William Bryan, has difficulty putting words in the right context and says he didn't know the McMichaels were armed.
Roddy Bryan did not know and could not know that these men were armed.
And Laura Hogue, attorney for Gregory McMichael, telling the jury that Ahmaud Arbery was likely committing a burglary.
Can anyone reasonably believe that Ahmaud Arbery was just doing a looky-loo on those nights?
Hogue explaining the high school image of Arbery is an inaccurate depiction of reality. Arbery's mother upset, leaving the courtroom briefly during Hogue's closing as the state prepares to give a final argument.
We're better than this, America. Coming from Kenosha, Wisconsin, we need to see that we're better than this, America.
That was Ben Crump speaking after Ahmaud Arbery's parents. Crump went on to say that according to the defense closing arguments today, you would think that Ahmaud Arbery was the only person that entered into that unfinished home in Satilla Shores. That was Ben Crump's sentiment. But Ahmaud Arbery's father also spoke, calling for non-violence. He says he wants no one in the aftermath of this case to be violent. He says we will not, quote, stoop to their level. We'll have more on closing arguments to start at 8:30 in the morning. Reporting live outside the Glenn County Courthouse, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
Haley, thank you. And as soon as that verdict comes down, be the first to know by downloading the CBS 46 streaming app. You can get breaking news alerts sent directly to your smartphone. Pandemic, it has created supply issues and causing grocery prices to rise. This year's Thanksgiving food giveaway event, it means a lot to so many people. CBS 46's Jamie Kennedy visited events across the metro and spoke with those in need and those in the giving spirit.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. Thanksgiving events across the metro area helping make sure all families feel loved and not forgotten.
Thank y'all so much.
Providing meals for those in need.
5 kids out of 10 go to school without food. We need it more now than ever.
October numbers from the Department of Labor show the cost of meat, poultry, fish and eggs is nearly 20% higher compared to October 2019, thanks to the pandemic.
We've been feeling it, and had it not been for programs such as this, we would really be in a real even worse situation.
Fruits and vegetables, cereal and dairy too are 6 to 7% more expensive.
We want people to enjoy their holidays, and if it's anything we can do to lighten that load as the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, we want to make sure we do that.
Everyone more than willing to show the giving spirit.
For the past 10 years, I just eat turkey sandwiches on Thanksgiving. I'd rather these families have better Thanksgiving than me.
The event providing not just sustenance, but also inspiration.
They never ask for nothing in return. And it inspired me as a parent, as a neighbor, as a friend, as a person in the world to do the same thing.
If you did miss out on any of the Monday Thanksgiving events, don't worry, there are more leading up to Thanksgiving. The full list can be found on the CBS 46 app and online, including a Tuesday event at the Greenbrier Mall with Little Baby. In Henry County, wishing everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. Jamie Kennedy for CBS 46 News.
Jamie.
Now our nation is dealing with a major supply chain crisis.
Local businesses forced to adapt to tackle challenges with holidays approaching. Today, Governor Brian Kemp held a roundtable to talk about the problem. The discussion coming amid a push for ports to operate 24/7 to help clear a concerning backlog of cargo ships.
CBS 46's Ashley Thompson live tonight after listening into the governor's meeting today. Ashley.
Yeah, Rick and Sean, those delays especially inconvenient right now as we begin the holiday shopping season, the supply chain crisis affecting everything from food to toys. Increasing prices for food, goods, and services especially unwelcome ahead of the holidays. Many of you getting sticker shock at the grocery store and other retailers. Thanksgiving dinner costing more than expected for some.
I'm going to Whole Foods and picking it up.
Inflation and supply chain disruptions sending the price of just about everything up.
Chicken, turkey, salmon.
$1 more a pound.
Supply chain issues not only making food pricey right now.
That's literally everything from gasoline to your Thanksgiving turkey and the fixings that you'll have around it, as well as Christmas presents under the tree.
Today, Governor Brian Kemp met with public and private sector leaders to discuss the supply chain crisis and how it's impacting businesses and industries in Georgia. Attendees included the Vice President of Transportation for the Home Depot and the Executive Director of the Georgia Ports Authority. Leaders discussed how they're trying to find solutions to the crisis.
We have just kicked off the South Atlantic Supply Chain Relief Program, which I think is going to provide great relief to both exporters and importers. And that is calling to open up a series of facilities that are existing and underutilized.
Some of the things that we're would like to see, one of the things that a couple of states have talked about is the relaxing the weight restrictions on trucks.
The problem won't be solved overnight, but state leaders say they are well aware of how crucial it is to find solutions.
Supply chain interruptions don't just hurt job creators, it also hits Georgia families in the wallets and impacts their ability to put food and other goods on the table for their loved ones.
And so a bit of good news. There are some signs that the supply chain crisis is easing up just a bit, but no doubt it is still impacting most of us in one way or another. For now, I'm live in Atlanta. Ashley Thompson, CBS 46 News.
New at 6, a former police officer aiming to keep guns out of the hands of criminals in Atlanta.
He is encouraging gun owners to secure their firearms if you ever need to leave them in your car. And this comes as vehicle break-ins continue to be a huge problem. According to Atlanta police, there have been nearly 6,800 thefts from vehicles so far this year. CBS 46's Yasmina Alston has more.
Atlanta has a very serious problem with firearms being stolen from vehicles.
That's why former police officer Whitman Rouse started his business ATL Gun Lock, a mobile gun safekeeping provider where you can rent a locker for your firearm or get one of these tools. Rouse says every gun owner should have a trigger lock, a gun cable lock, or a gun safe when you plan to leave your firearm in the car. These are only some of the many safety devices out there.
I show you the secret compartment to put it in. Every car has it, and your firearm be safe with this little $5 device.
Rouse tells me from his policing experience that thieves know where to look. According to Atlanta police, in 2019, 988 guns were taken out of cars. Last year, that number went up to over 1,000 stolen guns.
I went to hundreds of car break-ins, and they all seem to have the same practice. And that practice is what I was saying before. They put the firearm in the car unsecured.
According to Rouse, gun owners usually put their firearm in 3 areas of the car: under the seat, the center console, or the glove compartment. He says none of those are secret or considered a gun safe. Atlanta police told CBS 46 in June that lock boxes, gun safes, or tying the firearm to the trunk are the safest options if you must leave it in the car. Those options make it harder to remove the gun.
It takes a lot of effort to do that. Not to say that they won't, but it'll be a lot harder than just unlocking the door or smashing the window.
And you can find those safes as well as the gun cable locks at most gun ranges as well as stores that sell firearms. In Atlanta, Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.
Developing right now, the search is on for an 8-year-old girl with autism in Gwinnett County. It's been about 40 hours now since Nicole Amari Hall was last seen. CBS 46's Megan Packer is live in Peachtree Corners where the search is well underway. And Megan, the falling temperatures there that we just heard Jen talking about, a real concern tonight.
Oh, it absolutely is a concern as night falls out here, Rick. This scene seems to be intensifying. It's picking up out here. We'll show you what we see right now. Lots of police officers out here. You've got the crime scene investigations van. K9 teams are out here. The helicopter is overhead. They're focusing on the woods behind the hotel on Jimmy Carter Boulevard, where the girl was last seen around 1 a.m. yesterday morning. We are talking about an 8-year-old little girl who takes daily medication as these temperatures out here get colder.
The only thing we can do now is pray that she is returned safely.
With every passing minute, the concern grows about Nicole Amari Hall, who goes by Amari. Gwinnett County police are desperately searching for the 8-year-old with autism who has been missing in Peachtree Corners since early Sunday morning.
We think it's possible that she may have wandered away, but if there was someone around, we want to find that out as well. Mom said that she was asleep, and then when she woke up, the child was gone.
Amari was reported missing from the Hometown Studios Hotel on Jimmy Carter Boulevard, last seen between midnight and 1 a.m. Sunday.
Nobody heard anything. Nobody heard anything, any commotion or anything.
Betty Stewart stays at the hotel and is hoping for the best. Canine teams are searching the area looking for clues. As night falls, it will bring with it below freezing temperatures. Police have been in every room at the hotel and launched their helicopter. Still no sign of Amari.
It is very concerning.
They're also looking at nearby surveillance video to see if cameras have picked up anything to indicate where Amari is or what happened.
At this point, we're doing absolutely everything that we can to try to get any leads that we can come up with. We're going to go back and re-interview any people that we need to re-interview and talk to anyone, but certainly with this much time having elapsed, it is becoming a critical incident.
Here is another look at Amari. She was last seen wearing a blue Tweety Bird jacket with blue and white pajamas, and she may have her glasses on. Police tell me her mother is cooperating. They are asking for tips from the public, and anyone who has information about this, they want you to give them a call. Gwinnett County Police or Crime Stoppers. We are live in Peachtree Corners. I'm Megan Packer, CBS 46 News.
Cobb County firefighter and his wife found murdered in their home last week will be laid to rest tomorrow. Their accused killer, a neighbor, is also charged with attacking a Sandy Springs police officer with a knife during a separate break-in. Our Adam Murphy is live in Ackworth, where he spoke exclusively with one of the murder victim's family members. Adam.
Well, good evening, Rick. That's right. I spoke with the cousin of one of the murder victims, Amanda Hicks, who said that what happened inside this home on Verbena Drive in Ackworth just a few days ago is just absolutely terrible and is something that has stunned the entire family. But there is a sense of relief that the person responsible has been caught.
It's disbelief. Amber and her husband Justin, they were young, vibrant. Everybody loved them.
The pain runs deep for the family of Justin and Amber Hicks, who, according to arrest warrants, were shot multiple times with a firearm in their Ackworth home last week.
It was a total shock.
Amber's cousin Trevor Barnett spoke only to CBS 46 Monday about the incident, which has not only shocked their family, but stunned the community.
I was at my father's house when he got the phone call about the murder, and my aunt was tore up because my aunt helped raise Amber.
We're learning more about their accused killer, 22-year-old Matthew Lanz. He's the son of a neighbor, and police say he's the same man who, a day after the murders, broke into a home in Sandy Springs and stabbed a police officer who responded.
I've talked to some of the other family members, and we're going to be talking to the DA about death penalty. You know, with this gentleman, people like this that are crazy, that are nuts, that commit crimes, murders, just for no apparent good reason, they don't need to be here.
We're also learning that the accused killer's brother, Austin Lanz, allegedly terrorized a couple who had previously lived in the same home where the Hickses recently moved in and were later murdered.
It appears to be, from what we're being told, and we're not being told a lot yet, maybe a case of mistaken identity, that he broke in looking for the previous owners to pay retribution. And my cousins were there, just wrong place, wrong time.
And we're also learning that Matthew Lanz's brother Austin made national headlines a few months ago when he fatally stabbed a police officer near the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and then committed suicide after that. Now, the family of Justin and Amber Hicks unfortunately lost their 2-year-old because, well, their 2-year-old, I should say, was not harmed in this incident in the home. And so therefore, family members have set up a GoFundMe page to help support their 2-year-old child. As I mentioned, he was unharmed the night of the murders and will have a tough road ahead. We've put up a link to that GoFundMe page on our website at CBS46.com. We're live in Ackworth tonight. Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
Adam, thank you. Watching CBS 46 News. Watch us live wherever you are, on our mobile, on our streaming news app. And you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.